moment, it sounds like Deval.
It sounds like we're live, but you know what? The lights, all of the lights.
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
I just
Here we go.
noticed.
Here we go.
I
Here we go.
just
Here we go.
noticed all of the lights, and this time you've got your. This time you've got your shorts on, so we're all safe.
We're all safe. You can't see the red undies.
You
Um,
know what
the
happened? Yeah, I forgot to tell you. I don't know why I'm telling you live as well. I should have said before, but there was a couple of weeks ago when we recorded,
yeah,
and you was wearing your undies, and so when I did the YouTube, I had to
yeah.
zoom in so that people, because now and again, so if
Oh
you go back a
shit!
couple of weeks, you might notice your frame is more zoomed in than normal.
I got to start wearing. I got to start wearing shorts. Hang on, let me just make
No,
sure.
do what you gotta do.
Look,
Do what you got.
it's all
Do
shorts
what
now.
you
Because
got to
you
do.
know what? There's some days where it's just so
Hot.
hot, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh shit, I can't be bothered to
No.
wear anything. And like,
Nah. Let the balls be free. No one wants
let,
muggy balls, man. Let the balls
there you
hang.
go. Let the balls hang. That's what we're doing on the Flixters, folks.
Oh shit.
Thanks for downloading this episode, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel? Who's Emmanuel? Oh,
I'm saying
huh?
thanks for downloading this episode,
Oh,
Emmanuel. I'm speaking directly to Emmanuel.
is in our one listener. Who may be,
No,
you know?
I'm only
Who may
kidding.
be?
Listen.
Oh
We've
my
got
gosh.
Deval. We've got thousands of listeners in
Thousands.
the remotest regions of the world.
Mm.
Like seriously,
Yeah.
when I do the analytics, right? So I get into the analytics, I double check and see
Oh,
kind of like
watch
what's
you.
going on,
Analytics.
and we have people listening in like all over the place. I can't even mention the name. I can't even mention the
Alaska,
countries.
Singapore, I think we had one time. Obviously Australia, we had
Yeah.
America,
Oh
in
man.
Europe as well, Italy, I think France as well,
Yeah. Japan. We had listeners in Japan.
Japan. Yep, yep. There you go.
Which was really really strange. But anyway, let's get on to the show. So thanks for downloading this, folks. This is episode 236, and we're fast approaching the 5th year anniversary of the Flixers, folks.
Yep.
So keep it locked with us. Keep downloading the shows. Keep supporting us. Subscribe. Find us on Twitter. Find us on YouTube. Watch this if you want. And get in touch with us. Let us know what you're watching or what you're not watching. We'd love to hear
Mhm.
from you. Deval, let's do shout outs.
Yeah, so doing our shout outs this week, we've got 4 shout outs to do. First shout out goes out to Kate, and Kate is an avid listener, loves her movies. We shouted her out before because she likes her series and likes her movies as well. Finds it really relaxing to just chill out and watch a nice movie. So give a big shout out to Kate. What are you watching now, Kate? Do let us know. Shout out to us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whichever way you want.
Yeah. Hashtag
Next,
Flixters.
there you go. Hashtag the Flixters. Next shout out goes to Elaine, and Elaine we were chatting to on Twitter a while back as well.
Yeah.
Big Marvel fan actually, and I'm sure she's looking forward
Next week.
to Guardians of the Galaxy, which we're going to review next week. Guardians Part 3, or they don't call it Part 3. What do they call it?
Oh,
Uh,
volume.
Volume 3. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Volume 3.
You've got
So
your ticket, haven't you?
got my ticket ready.
Yeah. When are you watching it? On the Wednesday or the Thursday?
I'm watching it on Wednesday. Yeah, on
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
looking
Cool.
forward to that one. That's going to be decent. Hopefully, anyway, because you never know. These days, Marvel's been a bit hit and miss.
I know.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, big shout out to Elaine. And next shout out goes to our very own Zakharov.
Oh, Zakharov,
Yes,
man.
big shout out to Zakharov. Zakharov's always posting our stories, always interacting on Instagram. A
Thanks,
lot of the
man.
hidden gems that we mentioned, they come from either Emmanuel or Zakharov. We've
Yeah.
had Emmanuel on the show a few times. Zakharov, we're going to have on the show real soon. So Zakharov, big shout out to you. Big thanks for all the support and all
Yeah,
the
man.
posts
Thanks a
that
lot.
you put out.
Honestly.
You know, when we get you on the show, we're going to really enjoy having you on the show. So,
Oh, man. Can't wait.
oh, mate, really cannot wait. So, Zakharov, big shout out to you, and hope you're listening to us right now, cooking your
Yeah.
food, adding an extra bit of spice into your grub, as I know you always do. Next shout out goes to Ciel Noir 3. I know we always give her a shout out. Do you know why?
Oh,
Because she
man. All the time.
always shows us love on Instagram. And we had a chat recently, and guess what? I can now confirm I can now
What?
confirm
She's going
Ciel
to be in a Marvel
Noir
movie.
3 is gonna one day, I'm sure. But no, before she makes her Marvel debut, she's gonna make her Flixters debut. She, and that is actually linked to Marvel. She is going to be on the show in November when we
Oh,
review Spider-Man Across the Multiverse.
oh, can't
So
wait. Can't wait.
Early June. Look out for that one. So we're gonna have a chat with her and see when we can record that. But yeah, looking forward to seeing her on the
Looking
show.
forward
It's
to that
been a
one.
long time coming. So yeah, big shout outs on
Brilliant.
point.
Fantastic shout outs there. Thanks so much for that, Deval. So listen, look, let's get into movie news. And yeah, like, it's been a bit kind of strange with the movie news, Deval. There's kind of things going on, but there's
Uh,
things kind of like a bit, so it's always kind of a bit strange for stuff that we include. And there's things that we just think, oh, people aren't going to be interested in that. So we kind of cut a lot of stuff out. But on this week's episode, we want to let's speak about this CinemaCon. And now, Deval, CinemaCon, wasn't this like, when was the last time we heard of CinemaCon?
uh, Probably this time last year. I think it's the
Was it?
annual.
I
I think
don't
it's
even remember
was it.
CinemaCon.
I think it's the one that comes out before, like the big one before Comic Con or something. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. I think it is an annual thing, unless anyone can correct me. I think it's an annual thing. Yeah,
Mm,
CinemaCon. So
yeah.
CinemaCon, like you're going to say, literally just talks about lots of movies and stuff. And
Yeah, but this
yeah,
was big for Sony. Let's just get into the whole kind of Sony thing. One of the guys, this I just found this really, really kind of funny. Um, Chairman of Sony Entertainment, his name is this guy called Tom Rothman. Just
okay.
before they released the trailer for Equalizer Part 3, and we'll speak about that in a bit. He said, "We are not fucking around here." I mean, when
Mm,
you start when you start a presentation with those words, I mean,
mm,
you're really kind of stamping your authority, and you've got like some shit to say. So Sony are coming out with obviously the Equalizer Part 3. They are looking like they do well, not looking like, but they're going to be doing Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Gran Turismo Duval, No Hard Feelings, which I spoke about before, Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel,
mm.
and Devaldo, let's speak about what you've put on the film news, and then I'm going to add
Mm.
a little bit extra for you.
Add some extra sauce. Yeah, so this one, CinemaCon, they actually showed some footage of this film. Do you remember in 2018 when we all saw A Quiet Place? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
2018,
loved it.
John Krasinski,
Yeah,
Emily Blunt.
Captain
Uh,
Fantastic. No,
yeah,
Mr. Fantastic.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Great film, came out in 2018. Really, like, well, I don't want to say really low budget, but it was a modest budget and done
Yeah,
really well at the box office. These aliens that are on Earth and are really sensitive to sound and really, really good.
yeah.
Second movie came out, A Quiet Place 2, a few years later, didn't do as well, a bit more bigger budget, and we kind of saw where the aliens came from or how they arrived
Mm,
on Earth. So that was a prequel, and now we're going back. Now we're going back again, and
yeah.
this one is going to be set in New York, New York City, and
New
Jumon
York.
Honsu. Yeah, New York, and Jumon Honsu is going to be making a return. We saw him in the second one,
Yeah.
and in the second one, spoilers. I think he perishes.
Yeah,
I think
because
so.
remember, because Killian Murphy and him, they were in
Yeah.
there. Something happened. I can't remember if it was Killian Murphy that died or Jimon died. I can't even remember
Yeah, I
now.
think so. I think so. But either way, because they can die in that one, because this is a prequel,
Yeah,
this shows what happened. Like it's called Day One.
day one.
So this is the first time the aliens land on Earth. Obviously, all aliens come to New York when they come to Earth. We all know
Obviously.
that. Think of it as an alien, whether they're intelligent or not. They're going to go to one of the most densely populated areas on Earth to do a recce, to scout things
Yeah.
out, rather
So
than
is
go
America.
to what I mean? I don't know. Maybe they want the pizzas and the hot dogs and they want to get a coffee. A long journey. They want to get a coffee to stay awake.
Coffee. It's so true.
Exactly.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's like from all the big alien invasion movies, it's just kind of
Mm,
like America. But listen, so Jimon's going to be in this one, right? And then
yeah.
apparently, I've also heard from the grapevine there is going to be so that's kind of this kind of spin-off movie, but they're also going to be doing a part 3. So John Krasinski is going to be doing a part 3 of the main Quiet Place kind of um
Oh,
y-
okay.
Yeah, so that's basically happening as well. So this kind of Quiet Place franchise or this universe, whatever you want to call it, is picking up, man. This is because it's making a lot of money for Sony.
Making do re mi, and you know how Sony like their money.
Oh, trust me. And the other thing I just got to mention, they it was I'm not sure if it was a teaser trailer, probably not a teaser trailer, but Paul Thomas. No, sorry, I'm getting his butchering his name. Who was Quicksilver again?
Quicksilver, Aaron Taylor Johnson, was that the one?
Aaron Taylor Johnson was at CinemaCon speaking about
Oh,
Deval,
Craven the Hunter.
Craven the
Ah,
effing
yes,
Hunter.
yes,
And
yes,
listen,
yes,
here's the
yes.
thing. I'm saying effing because this is Sony's. Basically, they're kind of like putting it out there as this is going to be Sony's next big
Mm,
R-rated
mm,
Marvel. Because we
mm,
had Venom. That was R-rated, wasn't it? Was Venom
mm.
R-rated?
Nah, I mean, was it? Not really. No, I don't know, man. Yeah, I think you could be right. Maybe it was, but
Or it
it's
was they
still
were going
it
to
was
make it
very
R-rated, and it
very
wasn't in the end.
jokey. Maybe it wasn't because there was some hard kills, but I don't think you saw enough to
Yeah.
make it really R-rated. But
Well, Aaron, he's come out and he's said that this is going to be an R-rated film. So this is Sony coming out and saying that this is going to be R-rated. So this is Craven the Hunter, and I think the audience over there got to see maybe kind of like a little snippet,
yeah,
teaser trailer, or whatnot.
yeah,
So this is kind of big news. But Deval, as always, I'm not. If I'm being honest, I'm not holding. I'm not. Listen, look, I'm going to go in
yeah.
not expecting anything major, but Craven the Hunter is an interesting character.
He is. I can't remember his actual sort of real name.
Russian, is
Is
he?
he
Was it Russian? Or?
Russian something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got some heightened senses. He can smell you from a mile away. He's
Mm.
got strength, agility, durability. My man is like, if he wants you, I forget Liam Neeson from Taken. This guy has got a really particular set of skills, and he will catch you
He
literally.
will find you.
Yeah, he will find you. So
Yeah,
Craven the Hunter is a deep character.
exactly. And this is going to be coming out next year. And so, listen, the other thing is Gran Turismo Devout. It's directed by
Mm.
Neil Blomkamp,
Yeah.
who we know from District 9 and
Mm.
Chappie and all that sort of stuff. So it stars Orlando Bloom, David Harbour, Archie Madukwe, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Orlando Bloom and David Harbour. I mean, Gran Turismo. So we're getting the game adaptations. They're
Mm.
coming out thick and fast. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Gran Turismo, I think with games, if it's a big game, you're going to have an audience coming across.
Mm,
They know this, yeah? It's
yeah,
just whether the film is good enough to convince the people that aren't familiar with the game to also like the film as well, to
yeah,
come into the cinema and watch the film. So it's an interesting one. I think it will make money. Whether it makes a lot of money, whether it makes enough for a sequel, it remains to be seen. There's
yeah.
also Twisted Metal. I'm not sure if you did. This is kind of off the
Mm.
menu. Sorry, but Twisted
No,
Metal.
go for it.
A little teaser trailer came out the other day as well. I don't think this one's Sony. I don't think it is, but this one stars Anthony Mackie. And Twisted Metal is another PlayStation game that came out
Mm.
many years ago, like a dystopian future. And the cars have got weapons on the cars and stuff. And the teaser trailer just looks at that. But I'm telling you, the gaming industry
Oh, mate.
the gaming industry alone is
Mm.
worth more than the movie and the music industry combined. So when you think about that, when games can be themselves lucrative and they
Yeah.
transition into the movie industry, come on, man. Then you've got the soundtracks attached to that.
Oh
They are
man,
just
yeah.
copying, they're just making money on top of money. Do you know what I mean? So it's crazy out here.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Exactly. I just love it. I love
it's
it.
crazy.
And Deval moving his shoulders. So no, absolutely. So listen, look,
Yeah.
we're going to keep you posted on all this stuff coming out from Sony, and obviously we'll bring you reviews of Craven the Hunter and Gran Turismo and all that stuff. We're going to watch it
Mm.
and let you know about all that stuff. Okay, so keep it locked with the Flixters. All right, so let's move on to another piece of news, Duval.
Yep.
This is now Dodgeball. Man, I remember when this movie came. We're going back
I
a
like
few
this
years
film.
for this, man.
I
I
do
know it's
like
so
this film.
funny.
Yeah.
It's like this. Before we even ask, before we even kind of get on with this, was Dodgeball even a game, or did they just make that up for the movie?
Oh, I'm pretty sure Dodgeball was a game before. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a game. I think in America they play this kind of thing, isn't it? Dodgeball.
yeah. But I
But
mean, like, you know, it's this mad Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn. Ben Stiller was this kind of over the top, crazy kind
yeah,
of. I can't even remember. He was just like kind of.
gym owner, like a proper steroided up,
That was it.
crazy gym
And
owner
then the
who was
last
just
shot of him like putting on the weight again. That was all
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
But tell us about this.
Yeah, so this one again. So yeah, go through the cast. This is 2004. This is one of those comedies that
Wow.
if you see it on telly, you just kind of end up watching it. You
Yeah.
know, for me, Dodgeballs, it's a good, old school film, kind of old
Yep.
school. But yes, you got Ben Stiller, you got Christine Taylor, you got Vince Vaughn, you got Justin Long, you've got Chris Williams, Joel David Moore, you got and Alan Tudyk, you got Missy Pyle,
Mm.
you got a whole host. You got Jason Bateman's in it. He hasn't actually got a massive role in the film. You got Hank Azaria, who voices as the Simpsons.
Yep.
Uh, William Shatner shows up. Lance Armstrong, David Hasselhoff.
Wow. They got a
This is
fucking
a
lot.
quirky, nice comedy film. But basically, long story short, is they're bringing out another one. Nearly
Mm.
20 years later, they're gonna
Man.
bring out another one. And yes, Vince Vaughn is set for a return. So, at the end of part one, they were trying to go into a competition to win money to keep
Mm.
their gym alive, and they got the money in the end. So let's see what's happened with this gym. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it again. It's not gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
as good,
man.
but I'll still watch it.
We'll still watch it. We'll kind of
Yeah,
we'll watch that one. Kind of like this. Kind of, it's really silly, kind of like underdog story, and they kind of
yeah.
these funny little characters. Ben Stiller, obviously, he was like kind of crazy in there. But yeah, man, I'll watch this. Um, any news on when that's going to come out? Is that looking like this year or next year? Probably
Next year
next
for
year.
sure. Yeah, next year.
20th
Yeah,
anniversary.
yeah. And the same director of Dodgeball also directed Red Notice, which we've seen with The Rock and
Yep.
Ryan Reynolds, as well as Gal Gadot, Easy A, Skyscraper.
Okay.
So yeah, that person's directed a few other films since then. So yeah,
All right. Okay. Well, all right. In capable hands. Let's leave it at that.
yeah,
All right. Let's do new one streaming. Now, Devout, I think I can't remember if we spoke about this on last week's episode, but this is the latest big budget show out
yeah.
on Amazon Prime. And this is called Citadel. And interestingly, it's produced by or directed by, or it's the hands of the Russos, who everyone knows were the people behind Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame, Winter Soldier, Civil War. Those guys, they've got a great track record. They
Mm,
know how to make a movie. The Gray Man. They know action set pieces and everything. Apparently, Amazon pumped a lot of money into this, Deval.
mm.
They wanted kind of big name directors, which they've got. I'm hearing kind of decent to okay kind of reviews for this. I haven't seen it yet, so
Mm.
actually do want to watch this.
Yeah, so you got King of the North, Rob Stark, or otherwise
Mm,
known as Richard Madden, in it. Priyanka Chopra Jonas is in it.
yeah.
We first saw her in The Matrix Revolutions
Yes.
or Matrix 2 in 2003.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're the main stars. You got Stanley Tucci in it as well. But yeah, I've seen one episode last
And
night, and it seems decent to start with. I
yeah.
don't know if it's going to be anything sort of mind blowing, but it does seem like a decent show. The premise is that Richard Madden and Priyanka Chopra's characters are these spies that work for sort of an elite spy but neutral agency. So
Mm,
they work independent of any government. They are
right.
there to sort of govern the world when even governments are doing shady shit, obviously,
Right.
and then the baddies are doing shady shit. They're there to just sort of mop up everything. And then these two characters now suffer amnesia.
Right.
So
As
it's
you
a bit
do.
like Jason Bourne, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, even in the show, the guy's wife, Rob Stark's wife, says to him, "What's this? Are you Jason Bourne?" Because like as
Oh,
yeah, she says it.
that's
She
a bit
says
on
it.
the nose, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so far so good. It's very action packed, very elaborate, and it is what you get on the tin. It's a spy, thriller, and it
Yeah.
seems decent. So I'm gonna stick with it. 6 episodes on Amazon. So
Yeah.
yeah, why not?
Yeah, I love me a good spy thriller, and like I was watching The Night Agent, which was kind
Mm,
of pretty decent. There's other things out on there. There's another show on Netflix called The Diplomat, which is kind of probably,
yeah.
in the similar vein. But
And our
I'm
main
gonna
one we're
give
going to
this a
talk
go.
about too. Our main one's Spy too. There's spies all over the shit.
All over, all over.
Yeah.
All right, so go check that out. That's on Amazon Prime. You can stream that now. So get your password ready.
Yep.
And then this one. Now, I remember you spoke about this one before, but this is, I hadn't realized about this is 3 seasons. This is
Yeah.
Indian Matchmaker season 3.
Oh
This is on
man.
Netflix. And the reviews, I've been reading the reviews of this, and people are love.
Oh my. Have
I
you not
can't
seen any
believe.
of it?
No, mate.
You
I've seen like a
need
trailer. I
to
know, and
watch it.
you
It
already
is
you spoke about
wicked.
this,
Yeah.
and I'm like, holy shit, they're doing 3 seasons. Wow, tell
Mate,
us.
it's so funny, yeah, but there's certain shows out there that are big budget and this and that. And you might go and watch 1 or 2 episodes, like namely Lord of the Rings, for example. I still ain't
Oh
finished
yeah,
it.
man. Me too.
Indian Matchmaker came on the other day and we watched it within 2 days.
See,
It's just
what
one of them
isn't it
shows that
weird?
you just stick with it. It's like you finish it. You just don't go,
Yeah.
you don't watch anything else until it's done. That's what this
Oh
show is. This
man.
show, it's not, I wouldn't say it's for everyone,
Yeah, of
but
course.
it's basically an Indian matchmaker called Auntie Simu, and
Yeah.
she is old school. She's what people need in the family. She's old school. Yeah.
Oh shit, man.
She doesn't mess around. She
Yeah.
knows what's best for you, even if you don't know it for yourself.
Self. Yeah.
And sometimes she'll give you a match, and you might want 10 things, and she'll say, "What do you want? Yeah, you want this, you want that. You want no, no. If you have 5 or 6 things, it's fine." She's like, "You 5 or 6 things, it's fine. That's it. It's enough." And, and she-
Exactly. Enough.
and she's
Yeah.
telling you like what's good for you. And a lot of the time, she's right, man. Because some of these people,
Yeah.
especially these modern people, they want this, they want
They
that.
want
Blah,
this.
blah,
They,
blah.
oh man.
Mate, listen to her, and she'll give you a good match. But it's a good show, honestly. It's
Yeah.
just some of the girls on there, some of well, it's mainly the women that I've seen. They want too much. They
Yeah,
want
they're
too
looking
much.
for, but isn't that
Yeah.
and that is kind of probably, and not just probably in India, but like everywhere.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's not an
it's
Indian
like
thing.
universal.
This is, mate. I've experienced it. They they just want too much. Today, people in general. I know. Obviously, I can only speak from a man's point of view.
Yeah,
To a
yeah.
woman, like the shopping list that they give. But I think in general, the society that we live in, everyone's feels entitled. Everyone wants instant
Absolutely.
gratification, instant this, and
Oh
this
yeah.
want too much. So it's difficult to match make. It's really difficult.
It is difficult. It is difficult, isn't it? So this, folks, if you haven't seen it, go
Yeah,
check it out. It's on Netflix,
yeah.
and let us know what you think. If you do end up watching it, please do let us know, because that'll be
Mm.
interesting to hear your thoughts on that one. All right, let's move on now to trailers. And yeah, man, it's been a while since this has been on our screens, Deval, but this is season 6 of Black Mirror. And yeah, the trailer's out there. It kind of was, I didn't even know they were working on this, Deval.
Hold on. This, yeah. Do you know what Black Mirror is? The maker
Mobile
of the
phone.
show, the maker of the show said, I think one of the inspirations was people are on their phones a lot. Mobile
Yeah.
phones are taking over this sort of society. He said, when you hold a phone up to your face, what does it look like?
Yes, it's a Black Mirror.
Exactly. Black Mirror is one of the most
There's
It's one of
so many.
one of the
Yeah,
best
go on.
shows, man. You need to.
Yes.
Black Mirror is almost the future predicting itself. When you watch
Mm,
it and you see certain things on the show do things that were like this show's been out for years, by the way, from like mid
yeah,
2000s. And when you see things that happen in the show that happening today,
yeah.
like all these likes and things you got to do in society to get your credibility up, or just technology thing, it's just how are they predicting the future? This show is scary.
And
Black
this
Mirror.
guy, the creator of it, he's a British guy, isn't he?
Yes. Charlie Cox, is it, or something? No, not Charlie
Charlie
Cox.
Brooker.
Charlie Brooker, that's it. Charlie Cox is Daredevil, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Charlie Brooker, I'm telling you, man, this show, I'm so glad that this is coming back, and it's coming back soon. This is coming back
yeah.
in June.
Yeah,
You know,
and
um,
he's managed, Deval, by the way, just to interrupt you there, he's managed to rope in some big name actors on the show. Why do you think, like, what's the appeal? Like, there's like Anthony Mackie, and like, there was Jodie Foster, and people like Bryce Dallas Howard, I think, has like directed episodes as well, and things like
yeah.
that. So what's the appeal of it?
Do you know what? I actually I'm not massively for that. I think
Mm,
that's the current. that's the current wave of things. You have to kind of have some names to get your show
to get, yeah,
budget and get people interested. But I really appreciated the show in its early days
because
when
it was
people
Channel
like
4, wasn't it?
Daniel Kaluuya was on the show.
Yes.
You had who's the guy that played not Magneto, Doctor Doom in the new Fantastic Four. He's an English guy. Something's his name. I can't remember his name now. But
Yes, I know you're talking about Koba.
yeah, exactly. Kobe, I forgot his name, but you had a lot of
Kibble.
these. Toby Kibble, that's it. You had
Yeah.
a lot of these actors, yeah, that weren't massive household names.
No.
They made Black Mirror before Black Mirror was Black Mirror, and
Mm,
I do appreciate that still that kind of temperature of the food. Now you need to have that extra spice to get it noticed, which
yeah.
again it works, but for me, I don't mind having actors that have not made it yet in these shows because it's all about the content and the
Yeah.
story and what's
The
going
writing's
on
good.
rather than the show. Sometimes, sorry, rather than the actor. Sometimes the actor, if they're too big, they're a
It kind of,
confusion,
yeah,
distraction.
it takes
See?
away. It's a yeah,
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. It's a distraction. You're absolutely
distraction.
right on that one. So look, when is this? So let us know, when is this
June,
coming out
June,
again?
man, it's coming out in June. I can't wait. I might even start watching the old ones before this because
Just to catch.
I
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
It's good, man. I don't
yeah.
know. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
done.
Well, let's do it. It's done.
Doing
It's
it.
done.
Mm.
We have spoken. All right. So look, that's that. Go check it out. Now,
Ah,
this next one, Divaldo. Now, I'm not, listen, you know, we had demonic possession
ah.
last week. We had demonic possession last week.
Mm,
We've, it's this kind of genre of the horror movie where we're kind of
mm,
like, oh, like, it's this the demon thing. But this one, It Lives Inside, is from the producers of Get Out. And
yeah.
because when you obviously see that, you think, oh wow, this could be interesting. So they're going to put some budget to it.
Hmm.
I haven't seen these actors before, so no big name actors, I don't think. But from the trailer, Devour, isn't it? I tell you what, those eyes in the cupboard, the creepiness, the kind of the twisty body thing, it's got the hallmarks of a shit in your pants movie.
Do you know what? This film looks scary. It
Yeah.
lives inside. That's a scary title. The trailer is scary, and this looks like the producers of Get Out. That gives it that credibility as well.
Yeah.
This looks like it could be one of those horror gems that spawn into a
Yes.
franchise. And this one again, I like the look of it. Again, we've got the Indian connection here, Indian
Yeah. Yeah.
American
Yeah.
teenager. So it's not your typical stereotypical,
No.
cast. Director as well, Indian guy. I think it is Bishal
Yep.
Dutta.
Yep.
He's done 12 short films, and sometimes you know what they don't give these directors enough
No.
budget and enough free reins to go out and do their craft. This person they've earned their due, earned their dues. They paid their dues.
Yeah.
12 short films to craft their skills, and looks like from the trailer this could be a good horror film.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this one. We've seen American Pakistani lead in Captain Marvel, so not Captain Marvel, Miss
Yes.
Marvel,
Ms.
and
Marvel.
again
Yep.
we're seeing some more diversity here in something that is a different take on horror because we always get horror from a certain perspective, don't we? We don't know about other cultures' horror, and that for me is very scary.
Exactly.
Scary,
Exactly.
man.
So exactly. So you know what? You hit the nail on the head right there. We always get kind of like the demonic possessions from kind of like a
Mm,
Catholic, in my opinion, like from
mm.
from this Christian perspective. And now it's like, hang on a second. They've turned around and they said, well, why don't we get a perspective from like a different
No,
culture? Let's
scares
figure out
me.
what
I'm
they
scared of
think.
one. You're going to show me more now. Huh? You're going to show me more. So I'm meant to be scared at everyone now. Yeah,
Trust me.
everyone's gonna. It's mad.
Exactly.
And you know what? You actually showed us a film a while ago. It's like an Iranian horror film. That
Oh
was scary.
man,
That was
trust me,
scary.
I love that stuff, man. Seeing it from a different perspective. There's for people out there who are interested.
Uh,
There's on Netflix. There's this kind of they've got a lot of these Indonesian films, and they're horror. And there's
mm,
a demonic possession one
mm,
in over
mm,
there as well, which I've seen the trailer. I'm like, oh shit, so I can't even watch it sometimes. But this
mm,
one I will watch. It Lives Inside. Go check out the trailer. It looks really interesting.
mm,
So hopefully that will be released, where you are and where I am
November. We
in
gotta wait
November.
for this one. November. So yeah,
Oh, Halloween.
yeah.
Um, And then the next one, Deval, let's quickly speak about this one. So this is
Mm.
Denzel Washington back as the Equalizer.
Mm.
And it's been a while, hasn't it, since the second one?
That's
Because,
Denzel mouth.
oh, man, how long has it been since?
That's Denzel mouth, innit? Can you do it?
I can't. He's like, I can't do it, man.
You gotta put your top lip over your bottom lip.
I can't do it, man. I don't even want to attempt it. I look like an idiot, like, But he's got this swagger in
Yeah.
everything that he does. Like, he's a hitman. He's just like, whatever you ask Denzel,
Denzel.
and what a
Yeah,
name, Denzel, right? Washington. Come on, you
I
can't
know.
get more grandiose than that, right? So he's back, but this time they've shifted locale. So it's not America. He's like it's
Italia, Italia.
Italia. What's
Taking
he
on them
doing?
gangsters, mate. Don't mess about.
The
Go
mafioso,
get your pizza, get your pasta, get your what's that ice cream? What's that ice cream called again? The
gelato.
get your gelato and get out of there, yeah, mate.
Seriously. So he's there. He's got roped into some situation where
Mm,
he's got a connection with the family. The family's been like dealt with some heavy-handed shit by the mafia, and Denzel does what Denzel does as the Equalizer. He goes in,
mm.
and you know what, Deval? That bit where he's sitting in the seat, right, and he's giving them an ultimatum. He's like, "You've got 9 seconds. You've got 9 seconds."
Do you know, I must say, yeah, as much as Denzel's a gangster actor, some of these roles, yeah, where they're like Liam Neeson kind of roles, where they're 60
Yes,
plus and
yes,
they're running
yes.
around beating people up. How can you say to the guy, "Oh, I've got your something nerve"? That's right. You move, yeah, you move, and you be shitting your pants.
That's a
I'm
level
like, hold on
3.
a second. What's my other arm doing? My other arm can do something. Yeah, have my hand. It's cool. I'll swing around and
My other hand is just
you know what
sitting
I
there
mean?
waiting, like,
Exactly.
not doing anything. It's
Oh
so
my
true.
gosh.
But it's just like, Denzel doing that Equalizer
Yeah.
thing, and they build it as the final chapter
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Equalizer
I'm gonna watch it.
universe.
I'm gonna watch
Oh
it.
man,
Even
we're
though I'm
gonna watch.
cussing it, I'm gonna watch it.
Of course, we're gonna watch this, and it's great to obviously see Denzel out there and doing this sort of stuff, and we need to see these movies. But it's just funny how it's the interesting thing is it's the same director as the other ones, so
Mm,
it kind of keeps that continuity. And
mm,
I guess Denzel probably had enough clout to say, I'm only going to do this if
mm.
Antoine
Antoine
uh
Fuqua or Fuqua?
Fuqua,
Fuqua, yeah.
yeah, like is on board, and like that same kind of the energy that he brings to kind of his movies and everything. So yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see when this comes out. When, by the way, can we see this?
This is out during the summertime, I want to say.
Mm,
Yeah, this is out
all
during the
right.
summertime. Equalizer 3, yeah.
And
September. September, sorry.
September,
Yeah.
okay. And interestingly, there's a TV version with Queen Latifah.
Yeah, I've seen a few clips of that. I won't be
Uh,
watching that.
yeah, I know.
I didn't really fancy
I
it.
know, mate. I mean, I was
Yeah,
exactly the same. I was like, okay, I'll put that on the back of the room. All right, let's do anniversary corner. We've got
yeah.
something fun, something silly for you to get your head around. This is called Get Smart from 15 years ago, 2008, a kind of spy comedy thriller caper, whatever you want to call it.
Mm.
And this is what's his name again?
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's
Steve
actually an
Carell.
all-star cast. Actually, you got Steve Carell, you got Anna Hathaway,
Mm,
you got The Rock, you got Terrence Stamp, you got Terry Crews, you got James Caan. That's right, James Caan from Misery. I actually watched
yeah.
Misery just the other day
Is
again.
it?
Well, actually, not
It's a
again. I watched it
classic.
for the first time from start to finish the other day. Crazy.
Yeah, it's
But yeah, good
crazy.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill Murray's in this. You got Masi Oka in this, who's Hiro Nakamura from
Mm. Hero.
Heroes. Yeah, so all star cast basically. And literally a comedy action spy film about a bumbling sort of spy person who,
Bumbling.
yeah,
It's true.
is highly intellectual, smart, but he's also bumbling, working to try and stop the baddies take over the world, terrorist attacks,
Mm.
and stuff like that. So yeah, they all kind of work together. Steve Carell is the main guy. Anna Hathaway is the sort of main lady in this, and yeah, so it's like 2008, so what, 15 years ago. It's one of those ones that you can just watch, sort of light-hearted. 6.5 on IMDb, so it wasn't
Yeah.
shit, wasn't great, somewhere in between. But yeah, just thought we'll mention it to you because it kind of hits in with the films we're going to talk about later.
And isn't it great to see, like, well, not great, but isn't it funny to see kind of The Rock there playing second fiddle to someone,
Yeah, that's
like, you know,
before.
in
Yeah,
the days before, so
yeah.
he had to pay his dues.
Yes, he did. He did. He did. He did.
You know, there he's rocking a
Yeah,
bit more hairstyle over there.
yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't think this didn't set the box office alight, did it, Deval?
Didn't set it alight, but it done okay-ish compared
Mm.
to, I guess, what it might have. So the budget was 80. I say okay, actually, I take
Shit,
that back.
that's
The budget was
decent.
80 million, and worldwide it grossed 230. So
All
it
right.
is a 3x almost.
Wow.
I like to talk crypto terms, yeah, almost a 3x.
Yeah.
So they at least got their money back plus some. Probably doubled their money, take away other costs. Probably doubled their money for the producers and so on and the
Yeah.
investors.
Nice
So
little
yeah,
Bunsen burner
yeah.
there for him.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, okay. Which look, this leads us nicely into one of the main movies that we're going to be speaking about. So this is Ghosted,
Mm,
and so I remember watching this trailer a while back, and I was like, you know what, this. And we spoke about it on the show. We said, look, this has got great energy. This has got Chris Evans. This has got Ana de Armas, who's riding high on the wave at the moment because she had Blonde. She was Oscar nominated. She was in James Bond. This kind of Knives Out. She was in that. She kind of had a few of these movies come out, so her profile definitely kind of was up there. And I watched the trailer and I thought, you know what, I'm going to watch this. This looks really decent. Action comedy, spy
mm.
thriller. It's got all the ingredients of a movie that I, it's definitely on my radar. And so I watched this a couple of weeks ago and everything. And I was, you know what, Deval, I was just like, I wish I ghosted the movie. Like, seriously, like, I was so shocked. And here's the reason why. They've spent a lot of money on it. They've brought
Mm.
in two of the biggest stars, arguably. Not only that, they brought in the cameos alone. Like, oh my gosh,
For me, the cameos were my favorite
the
part.
favorite part.
My
That is
favorite part.
exactly the favorite part of the whole movie with these cameos. But I got to say, on the whole, Deval, I was like, this. The dialogue was so creaky, so clanky. It was so wooden. And I'm like, these guys are just like sleeping through this performance. I don't know if you
Mm.
got that same thing. You might have probably got a bit more mileage out of it. But this is a movie which I was like, come on, guys. They could have done something a bit more better than this. That's how I felt about it. But tell me about the plot. Tell listeners about the plot.
Yeah. So the plot is Chris Evans is a sort of kind of I don't know what term I can use, but he's a trier. He's a
Yeah.
farmer. He also works like a farmer's market, selling his stuff. He's not had great luck with relationships. He's not very sort of, I don't know. He doesn't really step out of his comfort zone. So he works on the farm and stuff. He's never left the
Mm,
country. He's not really pushing himself you know to the best of his ability. So that's
mm,
him. That's him in a nutshell. One day at the farmers market, he comes across Ana de Armas's character. She's buying something, and they have a bit of romance, also a bit of tension. And then sort of from there, they kind of hit it off. He asks her out on a date. They go for a
yeah.
drink, which turns out to be the longest drink in history because they go for a drink, more drinks, dinner, more dinner, drinks, stay over. Next day, it's a great 24 hours for him. So
Yeah.
he falls in love with her basically overnight, and then
Overnight. Yeah.
she says that she's an antiques what was it, a museum or antiques dealer or
Yeah.
something, and she travels a lot, so she's never really around. So the next day she goes off, and he can't get in touch with her, and then that's where the title comes in, ghosted, because he messages her a bunch of times. She doesn't get back to him, and
Mm,
somehow he finds out through one of his like little digital locators that she had in her bag that she's in London. So he goes to London to try and sort of romantically
yeah.
sort of
Woo
surprise
her
her, and then through doing
as you
that,
do.
the plot thickens and he gets kidnapped because he turns up somewhere where they think he is Ana de Armas, who is
Mm,
really a secret spy called the Taxman. and they think Chris Evans is a taxman, and from there on, he becomes central to the plot from the baddies' point of view because they think he's the taxman. Even when Ana de Armas, his character, turns up, because it's the taxman, they think she can't be the taxman. She's a woman. So there on, they sort of, he finds out what's really going on with her, and he sort of love hates her. They go around trying to escape, beating up baddies. Ana de Armas's character is doing basically a lot of Black Widow shit.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, Scarlett Johansson was originally meant to play this character, but because of
Oh,
scheduling conflicts, she couldn't. Ana de Armas stepped in and done
yeah.
it. So you would have had Captain America and Black Widow, which would have looked even weird and it was also quite weird because we know Captain America to be so competent. So seeing
Yeah.
him very incompetent was a
Yeah.
weird thing.
It
Even
was, wasn't it?
had a race up the stairs and he was out of breath. I'm like, come on, Cap.
I know, I
Come on,
know,
Cap.
I know, I know.
You know what I
But
mean?
she's good at kicking ass. Like,
Yeah,
we saw
yeah,
her,
yeah.
we saw her in James Bond.
On,
Remember, there's that
yes,
scene.
yeah,
She does really well,
yeah,
and but there was just something with the chemistry between those two. I don't know what
yeah,
it was, Deval. I just couldn't put my finger on the whole thing. I was like, why aren't I sensing the
mm,
steam between
yeah.
these two?
There wasn't
And
enough of that.
it just fizzled out for me. And I was just
Yeah,
like, they go, look, don't get me wrong, they go to different places. End up in, like, in the Khyber Pass, like, in Pakistan
mm,
and things like that. And there's a hair raising whole sequence in like in a bus and things like that, right? So,
yeah,
it's got a action pedigree,
yeah,
but I don't, for some reason, Deval, it just didn't work for me. Now, having said this, Deval, it's one of Apple Plus's biggest opening
yes,
on
yes,
record. So
yes,
regardless of what I say and what critics say, people have gone out and watched.
yeah.
Well, they've stayed at home and to watch it.
The star pool, like I say, the spice. Chris Evans is a big actor. Ana de Armas, she's come off blonde and stuff like that. People like her. They both look good. It's action. It's not a film that that the whole family can't watch. It's very accessible to everyone, and there's explosions and action. And it's an easy film to watch. The cameos for me, like the part in Morocco,
Oh
that for me was
yeah,
the best sequence. And the cameos, you got first of all you got Falcon who comes into it,
that
and
was
he
brilliant.
I don't want to spoil it, but you think to yourself, oh, Falcon's in it. Oh no, he's not in it. It's mad. Winter Soldier, he's in it, and he looks serious. You think, oh shit, he's in
Shit,
it. Oh, he's not in it.
not in
And
it.
then Falcon, and then you got Ken. What's
Right?
his name? Ken Cho. Is that his name? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, from
From
MILF.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah,
I mean, forgive me if that's not his name. He's in it.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's in it. He's not in it. And then Ryan Reynolds as well. It's these cameos are so quick. You think, how the heck did they get them on set
Set.
for an hour or whatever it took to film it? It's
I
mad. But
know.
the
I
cameos for
wonder.
me
I
were
wonder who had those pull. Would that have been Chris
Chris
Evans? Like,
Evans. Yeah,
yeah, he would have had the pull, right?
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
bring these guys in and
Especially
let's see
with
if we
Winter
can make
Soldier
it.
and Falcon. Definitely,
100%.
definitely. Yeah.
100%. So listen, look, that's my take on it. I
Mm,
I think for me personally, I just kind of was expecting way more. Maybe my expectations were a bit too high, but
yeah.
I just didn't get that whole kind of
Mm.
that vibe from it. And I can't even remember how it ended. Like, honestly, I only watched it
They had
recently.
to get that thing, that device that was like a chemical weapon, isn't it? And they
Yeah,
had to buy it from someone. And Adrian Brody's character's there, and there's massive action sequence in like this sort of fancy restaurant that goes around. So
yeah,
yeah, they managed to get it back and live happily ever after. And Bob's your uncle. Yeah,
yeah,
that's it. Really, it's enjoyable, but it's not rememberable. Is that a word? It's not memorable.
yeah.
remember,
No,
remember,
I like rememberable. I prefer rememberable. You're right, Deval. It's not rememberable.
yeah.
Uh, and I just think to myself, look, they were in Knives Out together, and that
Mm,
was, great script, you know, interesting, the direction that they had over there. I just felt,
mm,
you know what, man, this is like a wet blanket. Like, honestly,
mm.
the chemistry within the two. But anyway, look, so go check it out. That's on Apple Plus. So definitely use your Apple Plus, Deval. They slowly, I
Yeah,
reckon they're starting to kind of come around because there's quite a few, there's decent shows on there.
yeah.
You still haven't seen Ted Lasso, have you?
I've seen season one. I still ain't started season two. I need
Mate,
to do
watch
it. I
it.
need to
Mate,
do
watch
it.
it. Please watch it.
Ah.
Because this is the third season, is the final season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got to do it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. That's good. All right. Okay. Have we got time for one more, or shall
We've
we
got
leave
time
that for
for
next
this,
week?
and also we've got time for the hidden gem, which I need to
All right.
do. We've got
All
time
right.
for both. Honestly, it's
Let's
up
do.
to
Let's
you.
right.
Yeah.
So listen. So Ghosted was the movie that I watched, and then there was the other movie that we're going to speak about, which I watched very, very recently. However, Deval watched a year ago. Check this out. He was on some NDA thing going on
Non-disclosure
over there.
agreement.
Exactly. So this is called The Polite Society. And I didn't know much about this movie. I saw the trailer and I vaguely remember reading something about this. And it's a modern movie set in London about a British Pakistani family, specifically Ria, who's this kind of private school educated 15, 16-year old who has an amazing relationship with her sister. They're inseparable. They're close, and the elder sister's going through a bit of a funk at the moment. So
Mm.
she's an art student who's dropped out of art school. She can't really get her mojo back again, and Ria is there to kind of help her out. But interestingly, Ria at the same time it wants to be a stunt woman, a stunt person. So she's got this dream of becoming a stunt woman. And at the beginning of the movie, she's practicing a martial arts move. She's trying to do these flying kicks and everything, which was like really, really funny. And her sister's there, kind of like filming everything on a mobile phone. And then on the scene is this guy who is kind of like he's a I want to say, is he a banker? No, he wasn't a banker, is he? He's a medical student or something. Do
Who's
you
this one?
remember the guy, the kind of the love interest? Do you
Oh yeah,
remember the
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's.
So so a
Mm,
marriage proposal. No, I wouldn't say a
yeah.
marriage proposal, but they go to a party and there's a guy over there, and the elder sister starts kind of talking to the guy, and then they get kind of infatuated with each other. And the younger sister Ria, who's the kind of stunt person, she's
Mm,
like, "There's something up with this guy. I've got to
mm.
kind of investigate more. There's something really dodgy about this guy." So she does everything in her power to basically stop these two from getting together, from falling in love, and then eventually getting married. And no one believes her. She's got this thing on her head, in her mind, that you know what, there's something dodgy about the mum and the son. They're very
Mm.
rich, they're very loaded, they live in this mansion, but there's something off with them. So she does, with her friends, two friends, school friends, who are
And
really funny, by the way,
you know the baddie mum is the same one from
from Ms.
Miss
Marvel.
Marvel. Yeah.
I know, I saw that. And then eventually, the secret gets found out, and there's a whole big thing, and and it's interesting that you should mention Ms. Marvel, because I found the things that I loved or liked about this movie should have been the things that I liked in Ms. Marvel. I
Okay.
had way more fun watching
Mm.
Polite
Right
Society than I
society.
did
Yeah.
Ms. Marvel,
Mm.
and there were kind of similar themes going on in there. And so this newcomer, Ria, I thought, mate, she was like really, really good. Her
Mm.
attitude,
Yeah.
her kind of her sass, the
Yeah.
way that she kind, it was just like, I just thought, I think this is a debut movie.
Oh.
The other girl, the other sister, I've already seen her in a few things. She was in Red
Yeah.
Notice.
Oh yes, yes, yes. She was. Yes. Yeah. 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 She's been in a few things.
She's been in Umbrella
Umbrella
Academy.
Academy.
Yeah,
Chase.
she's
Yeah.
really good in that.
Mm.
And so she's been in quite a few things. But this new girl, I think, you know what? I was like, man, they should have
Mm.
got her for Ms.
Miss
Marvel.
Marvel.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah. I know what you
they
mean.
honestly,
She's got a bit about her, and I think she's got a bit about her. I would have liked to see her as
definitely,
Miss Marvel. And it's funny,
exactly.
this film, there's certain parts of it that reminded me of Kick-Ass. Like the
Yes.
karate was a bit, I don't know, Crouching Tigerish at sometimes, and
Yeah.
it was just a bit,
Over the top. It was
yeah,
over
yeah,
the top martial arts, and it
yeah,
reminded me of those old school kung fu movies where,
yes,
like,
yeah,
you would get like, the villain with like maniacal laugh, and like it
yes,
reminded me of
yeah,
old school, like, like Asian cinema, and like, with the
mm,
close up of the faces and everything. So the
yes,
director, she she's someone who's has already found fame by directing creating We Are Lady Parts, which was this show in the UK about a all-girl Muslim punk rock band,
Mm,
and yeah, so it's called We Are Lady Parts, and I've seen like a couple of episodes of that, which is really really good. That aired on Channel 4, and it done
mm,
really well in the UK, and it done really well in America. And I
mm,
think off the back of that,
mm.
she was able to get funding for this. And
Okay.
you saw this a year ago, Deval. So
Yeah.
imagine when they actually made this.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the filmmaking process is, not as quick as people think.
No.
Sometimes also they time the releases because they want to have a maximum, financial gain at the box office. They don't want to release it with something else that's gonna, flood the cinemas, and they won't give them a chance. So all that has
Yeah.
to be considered as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're looking for kind of like a really kind of old, kind of like in ways old school martial arts in a quirky, girl power kind of a way, I think you're definitely going to love it. There's a lot in there.
Mm,
Like, you don't have to be a girl of a certain
mm,
age or of a certain culture, because the themes in this movie are kind of universal, and I really liked it. It's got 7.2 on IMDb, if that
yeah.
means anything to you. The lead actress, her name is Priya Kansara, and she's really good. I reckon we're going to see loads more from her. But all
Mm,
supporting cast were really good. I thought it was really decent, Deval. I thought it was
yeah.
worth a watch.
Yeah. I think so too. Decent film. Definitely go
Yeah,
go go cinema. Go watch it.
yeah. All right, okay, and we're going to do
Mm.
something from.
We ain't done a hidden gem for a long time.
Mate, it's been a while. Take this one away
Mm.
for us.
I'm gonna do a quick hidden gem here. This one is called The Innocence.
Mm.
I don't mean innocence as in proven guilty, or innocent
Mm.
as in like the innocence as in people that are innocent. Yeah, so this
Okay.
is The Innocence, and oh my gosh, this is a Norwegian film, 2021.
Yeah.
And I tell you, man, I stumbled across it. I got it a while ago. It's been sitting in my movie list for maybe 3 months, 4 months,
Yeah.
and then I just gave it a watch just a couple of days ago. Oh my gosh, this is a very, very good film.
It looks creepy.
Very good film. This is set in Norway. A bunch of kids. You got four kids that are from this sort of apartment, sort
Yeah.
of building area, and this is just over the I guess summertime, because they're not going to school, so summer holidays, and the kids are playing. You got one daughter who's about 10. She's got an older daughter who's about 12, 13, who's who has autism,
Right.
and can't communicate. And you've got another girl and another boy who are sort of in the area as well. They're just playing, doing their thing, being kids. Yeah, the parents are working. You don't really see the parents that much as well. So it's a bit like, remember Rugrats? Rugrats was
Yeah.
all about the kids. The
Yeah.
adults weren't always there. But yeah, so bit by bit, the kids are playing and interaction. You kind of seeing their personalities. The boy's a bit, what's it, sadistic,
Right.
because he drops a cat. He wants to see how high you can drop a cat, and if the cat survives.
Oh my
So he drops the
gosh.
cat from far, and the cat's injured. And then the next day, someone squashed the cat's head. So you can see the
Oh.
boy's sadistic. Yeah,
Yeah.
something happens along the way. Maybe 20 minutes into the film, something happens where these young people start to exhibit abilities. I don't know where they come
Uh-uh.
from. I do not. Maybe I've got to watch it again. I don't know where the abilities come from, but they are.
Mutants?
No, it's weird. They're able to harness energy and manipulate people as well. It's really weird. It's weird, but it's so subtle. It's done in such a subtle way, low budget. It's wicked.
Mm.
And bit by bit, they start to understand their abilities. It's crazy. Like this, when I say the abilities are powerful, and in these kids, it's almost like they're little Darth Vaders. They are little,
Really?
no joke. They are little Darth. They can move things. There's like a tree that they snapping a tree, and then one of them
Uh-uh.
gets angry at the other one and starts
Yeah.
to do the Darth Vader choke. See, when Darth Vader can choke someone,
Yes.
he starts doing it to the other girl. Yeah, like with no hands, just looking at her and she's choking. It's mad. So this boy is a bit sadistic. And then I'm not going to spoil it too much. I'm going to wrap this up real quick, because this is the
Yeah.
sort of film is best you know little about. I stumbled across it not knowing anything. The
Is
less you know,
it?
the better. But things really develop in this film. The
So
innocence.
so what is so Is the movie so it's all kids? Are there any adults in
Kids.
this?
There's parents, but the parents play a small role in the film. It's all about the
Mm,
kids, how they communicate. These actors are wicked. They don't talk too much. They sometimes speak with their face and their bodies. They don't always communicate with their words, and it's important for that because that's how kids are. And you get to see how they interact and how they develop, and how one's bad, and how the good one might be scared of them. How kids are. Kids are meant to be
yeah,
brave, you know. Kids are
exactly.
scared. So,
Yeah, trust
man,
me.
you know what? This film goes in a way that you would not expect.
You
It
know,
was shocking. It was
do you
shocking.
remember? Do you remember this movie, this old school movie called Children of the Damned?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of got this image where, there's this kind
Mm,
of place where,
yeah.
because kids can be quite creepy. Like, you give that type of power to kids,
Yeah.
and remember, they're really emotional,
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
they don't know how to control themselves, and they
Yeah.
could wreak havoc.
Yeah. I think Emmanuel's
Damn.
seen this film and he mentioned Michael B. Jordan film. What's it called again in 2011, where they can move stuff with their mind.
Oh,
Uh,
yes. Yes, I know
it's
which one
gonna
you're
bug
talking
me.
about.
It's gonna bug me now. It's gonna bug me. But yeah, that film, it's like that, but obviously they're younger, and these
Mm,
powers they got are actually worse. Yeah, because
damn.
like I said, they can manipulate people. Things go really south in this film in a shocking way that I guarantee you will not expect.
Okay, it's on my
And the
list.
way the film wraps up, oh my gosh, the director.
I'm sold.
I ain't
Uh-uh.
saying shit more. I'm closing it right there. All I can say is go and see The Innocents with a T S at the end. Uh, it's just under 2 hours. I don't know where you're gonna find it. I found it by how I find things.
Yes.
It's not. I
Yes.
didn't see it on Instagram. I didn't see it on Netflix or Amazon. But however
Yeah.
you can find it, find. If you can't
It's
find it,
got to
contact
be
us.
found.
I can get you a copy. You know. But
Yes, we'll
uh,
point in the right direction.
very good Norwegian
Um,
film. It's in subtitles, so don't go on your phone. Concentrate. That's all I can say. I'm leaving
oh
it there.
yeah,
Go and
yeah.
watch The Innocents, 2021. That's it.
It's kind of, does it have I kind of saw kind of, the little bit on the one of the kids in there.
Mm.
Let the right one in. Does it have a bit of vibe? Remember, because that was
I can
Swedish as
see
well,
where you're
wasn't it?
going. I can see where you're going with that. This one, because there's more people and it's less intimate as that.
Okay.
I can see where you're going with that. Yeah, I can see where you're going. Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Well, listen, I'm sold on that one. And
yeah.
folks, I hope you are too. Listen, look, that's the end of the episode.
Mm,
We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you keep coming back and listening to our show. If you like it, then like us on YouTube, subscribe to
mhm,
us on Twitter,
mm,
do all of that sort of stuff. It'll help us.
mhm.
And get in touch with us. More than anything, though, get in touch with us. Let us know what you're watching. If you're watching anything, spread, introduce this episode to one of your friends or family members, and maybe they're
There you
film
go.
buffs, and you know what, we'd appreciate it. Deval, thank you once again.